This is Boxes and Briefs, a podcast with real-life business stories. But we will be asking the hard questions and challenging traditions. So broaden your thinking with fresh perspectives and solve problems for business success. Welcome to another episode of Boxes and Briefs. My name's Lisa.
I'm Lucy.
And today we have with us Leighton Wilson. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, Leighton is the founder of a value-based digital ad studio called Ladder & Co. They have expertise in Google Ads, social media marketing, and bespoke online solutions. They blend technical know-how, more geeky stuff, with strong relationship building skills. Does that about cover it?
That about covers it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us how you came to be Ladder & Co. What's the
essentially,
backstory?
Yeah, so I started it during COVID, which was quite a interesting time to start a business. But no companies were really hiring. So I was like, well, if I do some contracting, then maybe I can get a job or something later on.
Okay.
And then, it just turned into a business.
So you ended up with enough clients that you could stick a GST number on it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's, it kind of just grew from there. I did my own website to start with, and it was pretty primitive, but I had a background in digital marketing, so it made sense to sort of do something I was into rather than starting a new career.
Nice. What do you love about it? Why are you into it?
I love data and I love business. So I love looking at data and seeing the intricacies of how we can improve things or anomalies that can be adjusted.
So the whole analyst part of it.
Yeah, the analyst part of it. And also I like the element of helping business owners and seeing other people succeed.
Yeah.
And also we work with such a varied range of businesses. It's cool to see how they operate, what learnings we can take from them, and apply to our own business. So
do you take on like two electricians at the same time?
We haven't, but I did actually come across. I actually spoke to someone who was looking for like mentorship. They were starting a digital marketing company, and came to me. They were working with a client through social media, and he said he was specializing in gyms, and he was saying that people were turning him down because he was working with a couple of gyms in one area. Yeah. But I guess if you take the learnings from one business and apply it to both businesses and vice versa, then you grow the whole market. And so why would someone not want to work with someone who's the best in their field versus not?
I guess because you're making your competitor equal with you. And you want someone to choose you.
Yeah, that is true. So we haven't, but it is something that I guess we could potentially come across. And my thinking is that either you'd get a non-disclosure, so obviously you don't discuss stuff with the other company, but also if you can take those learnings and apply them, then that both companies are getting learnings from each other in the back end and lifting both of them up versus someone who's...
What's that saying? Something about a rising tide floats all boats?
Yeah, exactly.
And if they're both unique in their own ways,
Exactly.
Matter.
And also you'll see, we don't particularly specialize in any one industry, but there are companies that specialize in one industry. Yeah. And so they, that's how they've operated. And people do say, go niche, and it's something that I've considered, especially in the SaaS space or in...
Well, hopefully, if a business has done its research, they'll either know that their audience is different, their target market is different, or they have something different to offer. They have an actual point of difference in their industry. Hopefully, there's something that make the Google ads different.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. And also each company will have their own, point of difference, their own specific products, their own targeting, their own audience, So you do, that's a good point. There are individual, and that's what makes that company succeed and the other company succeed as well.
Yes, so their differences, Yeah,
exactly. So it is something to consider. It's an interesting concept.
How do you explain what Google Ads are to somebody who doesn't know?
It's a storefront to your website, so it helps people it helps relevant people find your business online. Okay. There's multiple different strategies of advertising, obviously. Search ads or Google ads are, first of all, Google's 95% of the search market, so you're already eliminating sort of 5%, focusing on 95% of the market, and you're appearing at the top for specific keywords or search terms that people are looking for. So, say I think you mentioned plumber before. Say you're looking for a plumber. People need their pipes fixed or their sinks leaking or whatever. You can match your business to people who are looking for those types.
So if they're typing in that word, then the business can. This is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm taking a long shot here. That you bid on that word. So if they're punching in the word leaky pipe, I'm now going to bid on the word leaky pipe, and every time somebody clicks on that word that my ad has appeared under, I'll pay 50 cents, $1, whatever the cost is for that click.
Yeah, almost. The concept's right. But the difference is there's a text ad under that. So say leaky pipe will match to a text ad, which is around, we're a local plumber who fixes leaky sink pipes.
Yes.
And then the person will click on that text ad. So that text ad filters what the person's searching for versus what the outcome is. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a text ad.
A text ad.
Then you've got
the landing page is under that. So
when somebody clicks there, they'll land on a specific page that's attached to your website?
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Well, you can land on a contact us page, you can land on a home page, but best practice is to link the keyword with the text ad with the landing page.
Why?
Because it gives you Google calls it a quality score. So essentially, if the triangle, the 3 points of that triangle match, then the customer gets a good experience because they're looking for, in this case, their leaky pipes to be fixed.
Okay.
They see an ad about it, and then they land on a landing page that has information.
Is that the triangle, is it?
That's the triangle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Keyword, text ad, landing page.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's also things behind that, like landing page experience. So how does your landing page relate to the keywords? Because some people do try to game the system by bidding on a competitor's keyword. Like say you're X and Y plumbing company, and then there's a A and B plumbing company.
Yeah.
If you bid on the other one's keyword or name,
right,
you'll
show up in their results.
Yeah, potentially, but the experience is bad because it's not the company that the person's looking for, and therefore you pay a premium on the cost per click. Yeah.
Right.
Can you sabotage? Like if you do a search and your competitor comes up, can you just spend all day clicking on their ad and eventually the budget that they've set will run out?
In theory, you can. I mean,
Does anybody
you'd
do
need a lot
that?
of time. You'd need a lot of time. In theory, you can, but Google will refund you if that happens.
Because Google can tell that it's come from one place.
Exactly. Because if you've got multiple...
Right, so you have to get technical and you have to get a group of people with a phone.
Different IP addresses, different locations. Yeah. But it's, we haven't come across that, but theoretically it can happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that it doesn't happen in New Zealand, but it does happen elsewhere.
No, it doesn't. We haven't come across it.
Okay.
But theoretically it could happen.
All right. So you said text ads. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that there's other ads?
There are. So Google owns YouTube. Also, it owns a few other platforms, but the primary ones you'll see are YouTube, so video ads, and also display ads. So they're the ones that will follow you around the internet.
Is that remarketing?
Yep, retargeting.
Retargeting. So again, I think I have an explanation. I'd like to know if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
But if I click on an ad or a search result, that company can kind of grab onto my jacket, and then wherever I go in Google, their ad can potentially just show up.
Yeah, correct.
In that like side part of Google, which means if I'm umming and ahhing about, which accountancy firm should I choose? And I've gone and checked out a few of them. If one of them's got a retargeting campaign running, then everywhere I go, I'm going to keep seeing that Gilligan Shepherd ad, and it's going to make me want to choose them because it's having an effect on my buying decision.
Correct. Yeah. So there's there's like retargeting, which is back to people that have come to your website.
Yeah.
There's also retargeting through email lists. So say whatever email people log into their browser with, you can target based on that.
Okay.
And also there's just in market. So that's people that are interested, like if they've searched for, say, buying a house or something, they're in market for buying a house, and therefore if you choose that audience, you could advertise your ads to those people who are on the Google Display Network.
Creepy.
Yeah. But it is creepy, I
Clever.
guess. It is creepy in some degree, but also it's, you have to, like, we don't pay to use Facebook, we don't pay to use Google, so our data or our information is our payment for using those platforms or accessing.
It's a trade.
Yeah, exactly. So you're trading your data and your time, I guess, for insights, so then marketed back to you.
Okay. Any other types of ads you want to tell us about?
No,
That's it. Covers it.
that pretty much covers it.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the main ones, because you can get, obviously there's ads on other platforms like TikTok, Meta, Shopify. Spotify, sorry. Spotify. Always get those two mixed. Shopify's a website platform.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
One's shopping, one's listening.
Yeah, that's it. There's a bunch of them. But the good thing about the Google platform is the measurability. So you can see cross-network transactions. So you can see if people have come in via organic or direct or display or paid ads.
Yeah. So you can see what's actually working.
Exactly. And then you can measure it back through if they searched something, then they saw a display ad and they came back and purchased.
Yep.
In Google Ads, it wouldn't show as a conversion, because although they discovered the website through Google search ads, the purchase was made after they saw one or a series of display ads.
Yeah.
And therefore, where it's attributed, Google can track that whole attribution.
Okay.
So
Alright.
it works as like a network.
So probably about 10 years ago, I was told that when it comes to Google Ads, that they are only a short-term strategy. That long-term strategy is more like building content or doing SEO work on your website, that kind of thing, so that you rise in the natural or the organic search results. And that Google Ads was a short-term one to get to the top as quick as you can. So if you need a cash injection of sales, do a Google ad campaign.
Yeah.
So nowadays, 10 years later, is it a long-term or a short-term or both?
Good question. It's a great question.
Thank you.
It's it can be both. It can be both. So theoretically, you could spend a lot on Google search ads and get a lot of traffic quite quickly and discover what keywords are converting, and then apply those keywords to SEO or search engine optimization. And then, theoretically you could back off your ads and your website
So like a seesaw effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It would rise up the rankings organically. What that doesn't account for is trends changing over time. So, seasonality, the way people, just any trends really. So the way people are thinking, what they're searching for, market conditions. So I think a good strategy is to use a mix of different,
both.
different options depending on what your goals are.
Fair.
And also, search ads will always be in the top 3 on a web page, so you've got the top 3 search ads, you've got your Google Maps, which is like your reviews and map pack, then below that you've got organic. So ideally, the best scenario is to be on
all 3?
In all 3, yeah, exactly.
What do they call that? Market share.
Yeah.
Market share of the results.
Because even if you appear at the top organically, someone could pay, $2, $3, $4, $5 to be above you after all this effort of going organically.
Okay. So is it worth spending money on your business name for that reason?
It can be. The cost per click on your business name is really cheap. So
because nobody else will be doing it.
Or if they do, it comes back to what we talked about before in terms of like the the what do you call it? Arbitrage, sabotage, whatever it is. Sabotage. Yeah. So
yes.
it's it comes back to that, but I think I think it's best to go on all three, but you can adjust your budgets or your efforts depending on what's working at the time.
Yeah. For the market or the trends or the changes.
Yeah, correct. And you can use your search ads as a learning strategy for the other forms of content.
Yes.
So if you want to test something, you can do that as a test option and then apply that to your organic or whatever.
So it's your experimentation budget.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And
well, on the budget thing, how do you know that you're spending the right amount of money? How do you know?
So there's a keyword planner tool where you can see the market size for individual keywords.
Okay, break that one down. What do you mean by that? if people want to buy leaky pipes, it's going to say 1,000 people are currently typing this into Google. Therefore, the cost for that keyword is this.
Yeah, correct. So we can see the trends over time. So the next month and also the next 12 months predicted based on the last 12 months worth of data.
Okay. Cool.
And so often you'll see seasonality in that, like sometimes stuff
like frozen pipes.
Yeah, or things will peak at Christmas or, come down over the summer period or whatever.
Okay.
And then you can see the cost per click over time as well, and then approximate conversion ratio based on historic trends.
Okay.
And you can see like what parts of the country geographically how it's broken down. And
is there a formula? Like I've heard, ROI, return on investment, that for every dollar you spend on Google ads, you should get so many dollars back. Is there a formula to know whether it's worth you doing?
It depends on how you value a conversion. Technically, online a conversion is usually it'll be a phone call, a form fill, or an email, as in an inquiry.
Right, they've done something. Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so you've advertised out to market, they've come to your website, and then a certain percentage of those people will make some sort of inquiry into your business.
So if it's above 50, it's great conversion?
Well, but then the next element is the other side of the website, right? So once it goes through to your business, how many of those leads are converting to a sale, and how long they take to convert to a sale, and what's the value of those customers coming through?
That sounds like a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
To try and figure that all out. Like, a product would be easy, right? I've got a product for $10.
Yeah, exactly.
I've spent $1 on the Google ad something or other. I've made $9.
Exactly.
If it's a service and you're relying on the person answering the phone to go, how did you hear about us? Oh, you found us on Google? Excellent. It's very hard to measure.
100%. Yeah, it is. But you can say on average, like if someone is spending X amount through the website versus word of mouth, if a customer is spending X amount through a website contact form fill versus word of mouth versus your networking or whatever, how does that compare as a revenue stream?
And time.
Correct. Yeah. And then you can work out either because it's difficult to measure if a conversion happens straight away, like say they're buying a product, you can see that immediately. And we've seen some clients in excess of 10-to-1 conversion ratio, as in return on investment, so based on revenue. Whereas if it's a service, you probably take into account lifetime value more. So if a customer comes to your business, how much does it get them?
How much they're going to spend over their lifetime?
Correct. Yeah. How much does the customer make per month for the lifetime they're with the business?
Yeah, that would make you want to do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
When you start looking at that number.
Yeah, exactly. And coming back to your question around like advertising splits, then you look at, okay, what's the conversion, like what's the lead-centric advertising versus brand advertising?
Right.
Because your brand will create a customer for tomorrow, but the lead's just measuring today. Yeah.
Okay. We had it worded like that for a while. That's good. All right. What are the most common mistakes that you see when businesses like try and set up and run their own campaigns?
The biggest issue we see is conversion tracking. So
like figuring out whether you got your money
back?
back?
Correct. And making sure that because a lot of people will track a contact page view as a conversion, whereas that person might not actually submit a form or call you or whatever. So it's understanding if you spend X amount of dollars on your advertising how many conversions are you getting for that spend?
Right. So if I was Googling leaky pipes and I landed on a page that was actually about bag pipes, not pipe pipes,
Correct.
plumbing pipes,
Yeah.
and then I've gone, oh, I'm in the wrong place, and I just go away again, that's a whole waste of a click.
It is, yeah.
And
And
cost.
probably a bunch of clicks
Yeah.
and cost. Or even worse, if they come through the website, call your customer service team or the salesperson or whatever,
Take up
waste their
time.
time and then leave. So it's you can't manage what you don't measure. So it's very much the measurement side of things is what we
It's just throwing
find
a dollar
slacking.
into the dark and hoping something happens.
Yeah.
and another trend we see is like people sort of have a shot in the dark, but they don't really experiment with multiple different avenues. So say a customer might think, say a business might think that they're after people that want to fix leaky pipes.
Mm-hmm.
They stuck on that, aren't we?
We're stuck on leaky
Stuck
pipes.
on that.
Yep.
Like say the issue might be leaky pipes.
Yep.
It could be something like flooded bathroom might be an issue.
Yeah.
Flooded kitchen.
They're missing out.
Yeah, so there's
They're not actually looking for a leaky pipe. They're going, my bathroom's flooding.
exactly like focusing on outcomes rather than inputs
Right.
of the problem.
Yep. So you have to have a bit of an analytical mind to figure it out, don't you?
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.
Okay, with the rise in AI, how is that affecting the Google Ads service?
There's AI in platform, which is not that helpful to be completely honest. It sort of gives you options for descriptions, titles, keywords, but oftentimes we find it's better to understand or to discover what the client actually wants and tailor the aspects of the ads to the client.
So is it a similar problem in that, like in content marketing, people can write their own content, but actually it's not human?
You want it to be readable. Yeah.
Yep.
But where AI does help is if you're stuck as a tool. So if you're stuck for keywords to look at, because obviously we all have our own, like limitations or kind of thought process to help you think outside the box in terms of keywords or titles, descriptions, that kind of thing. It can help with synonyms, I believe they call it, like words that are similar but not the same.
Yeah.
And so, so it helps with that. But it doesn't, it's not a complete game changer at this point. It's more of a iterative tool.
Okay. All right. So we're not scared of it yet for that.
No.
Okay.
But I do think as competition to the likes of, Google and Facebook, Meta, etc., I think optimization for AI or ads in AI, some way of monetizing AI will be the future at some point.
All right.
Because that's how Google makes its money, right? It makes its money through advertising. And so some way of ChatGPT or whatever AI platform you use, I think they'll need to create some better way of monetizing the freemium version of it.
The freemium.
Yeah.
All right, I have heard about this thing called ad blindness. And I think it means where there's so many ads at the top, they now understand there's ads at the top, I'm just going to scroll till I get to the bottom. Or they all look the same and it's not what I'm looking for. Like they just don't see them anymore. What do you say to that?
We do come across people who don't think that the budget is able to be spent. But what we find is there's still a huge market that are clicking on the ads. There are some people, a small minority, that don't want to click on the ads, but we find that if we go back to that relevance point around the keywords, the text ads and
if
the landing page.
If the answer is in the ad,
exactly, they'll click on it. Yeah, because they're not paying for the click, right? So it's
trying to make their life easier, really.
Exactly. And in terms of ad blindness, I think people don't focus on the volume of text ads and the volume of variables.
Okay.
So if something's not working from an advertiser's perspective, testing and learning is very important.
Yeah.
It's not give it a go, and if it doesn't work, then leave
stop.
it.
Yeah.
Because we know that the market's out there. So what do we need to do to work on that to get results essentially?
Okay. Do you have any tips and tricks for business owners with their ad campaigns, or are you like not giving it away?
No, just keep trying. I think
Keep trying.
and also think about the leaky pipes thing.
Yeah. Think about the end user, what they
Yeah,
actually
think about
punch
the outcomes.
into Google.
Yeah, think about the outcomes. So if someone's looking, like you say, someone might not be looking for a plumber, but they might want their flooded bathroom fixed.
Yeah. Imagine you were the customer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
put yourself in their shoes. What would they actually type into Google?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And are there any other emerging trends that you see coming up in ads?
Advertising's getting more expensive.
Is it?
Yeah. So
Oh no.
yeah, it is. So over time, the cost per clicks are getting more expensive because it's an auction model.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to
more-
just explain that for a second for those who don't understand an auction model?
It's scary. It's scary. No, essentially it's a silent bid. So the cost per clicks. So you have a set budget.
Yep.
And you bid a cost per click to get ahead of the competition, if that's your strategy, on certain keywords.
Right.
And so you'll use a bunch of different keywords to try and mitigate the cost of expensive keywords.
Yep.
And also you can adjust, there's levers you can pull in your campaigns to ensure that you don't spend all your money at once.
That you don't put all your eggs in one
relatively
basket?
competitive. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I'm selling light bulbs. I've got a $500 budget, and to beat my competitor for the keyword lights,
Yep.
I'm going to say I'm going to spend 50 cents.
Yep.
And then my
correct.
competitor might go, well, I'm going to spend 60 cents.
Correct.
And so whoever bids the most is the ad at the top?
That's true, but also you could then go into, if it gets too expensive for your budget, then it becomes a return on investment question. So
Yeah.
so then you'll go halogen lights, kitchen lights, bathroom lights,
Okay.
and choose another route that gets to the same person,
Yep.
but is a lower cost per click.
Got it.
Okay.
Or a lower cost per acquisition is probably more important than cost per click. But
Cost per acquisition. We're
well,
being
that's the
fancy
cost
now,
of
eh?
the cost of getting someone to speak
Click.
to you. Yeah, well, a click's important, but getting a customer is more important, right?
Yeah.
If in terms of advertising or speaking to a customer is more important.
Yeah.
So, it's more important to have someone contacting you than someone clicking on your ad.
Right.
True. Because then you just say goodbye to your money. Whereas
Exactly.
if they're actually talking to you, you
Exactly.
might get them as a customer.
Clicks don't pay your rent, unfortunately.
All right. You've been so helpful in explaining so much jargony stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If our listeners want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Probably just email us on hello@latico.co.nz
Excellent.
or phone me directly on 021 127 2464.
2464. Awesome.
No strange texts.
Well, you've opened the door now. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks so much.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.